Introducing FEM4Ed, a downloadable feedback-driven application on an education tablet.
We are 4 teens from Bangladesh, Mexico, and Romania. We are a part of the Education Hub in the Global Collab. Unfortunately, according to UNICEF, 617 million children around the world are unable to reach minimum proficiency levels in reading and mathematics. And without these skills, children face more and bigger barriers in their future lives. We decided to focus in SDG Target 4.6. So, as a solution, we present to you the FEM4Ed app.
But how is this any different from the multitudes of applications already available? The app is completely audio-visual. This means that the people using the app don't need to be able to read or write, and everyone will be able to use the application regardless of their age or ability. Being visually and auditorily based, the lessons will be focused on videos and interactive activities. All text and pictures will have an ear button for the learner to hear what is being written or shown, translated into 100+ languages.
Click on this for reading basics.
Cliquez dessus pour les bases de la lecture.
The app would only require one internet connection to download and then can be permanently used offline. The program on the educational tablet can be used without any internet access. This ensures that rural areas will have access to the application as well. Within the application, multiple accounts can be made, ensuring access for rural communities. So, how will the program work? A curriculum of activities and lessons are generated and adapted to suit each individual learner. Using the best proven methods to teach adults how to start reading, the beginning levels of the lessons begin with recognizing patterns, with letters and identifying items of personal relevance. For learning to write, they can either use their fingers or put a piece of paper over the tablet to practice tracing the letters. For learning math, they would be able to apply their math knowledge into real-life situations, such as shopping. It is a feedback-driven, adaptable curriculum that requires fewer teachers but allows more people to learn. Once all the topics provided have been mastered, the learners can be awarded a proficiency certificate. We could partner with the GED Association to allow them to earn real degrees. Here are our stages and timeline of implementation. First, we would reach out to teachers around the world, especially those involved heavily in teaching adults how to write or read from scratch, to translators to get as many languages available as possible, prioritizing local hires to ensure different dialects are accounted for, reach out to programmers who would be interested in helping programming the feedback-driven system. Second, we'd build a curriculum that aligns with the GED in collaboration with those teachers from around the world. This will include designing and programming the interactive lessons, recording video lessons, or finding video lessons already available and contacting the original uploaders for permission to use them. Third, we would contact the GED Association to ask if they would be interested in partnering with the application and allowing diplomas to be awarded from its completion. Fourth, for the actual hardware, we would then bulk order the educational tablets. The only application that the tablet will have to have is the application. As such, the technology does not have to be very advanced, so we can prioritize buying cheaper, purely educational tablets in bulk. We would also be able to buy resale products. Fifth, to maintain the tablets, if communities do not have outlets available for use, batteries, which can then be used for solar battery charging stations, will be used. These charging stations will be implemented in their community and explained to local leaders by technicians who speak the same language. Sixth, to ease the learning curve of using technology for those in rural areas, the locally hired volunteers will be in charge of instructing and aiding the learners in using the technology. Volunteers will go through a series of lessons to make sure they are well adapted to the technology and are able to answer any questions. Seventh, the project can be introduced as a prototype in specific regions. We can then learn and improve from its successes or failures and launch in new areas, one by one, to ensure that each place has been prioritized and the level of effort in providing education does not diminish. After that, the FEM4Ed tablet and application will be available worldwide. For those in rural areas without access to the internet, the tablet will be distributed through a partnership with non-profit initiatives such as One Laptop Per Child, or OLPC, and volunteer distributors. Once communities have adjusted, FEM4Ed is available for them to use at any time, anywhere, for all ages. But how is this initiative sustainable? The locally hired volunteers ensure that the technical literacy in the community will improve and strengthens their occupational mobility to compete for opportunities around the world. Since resale and cheap educational tablets are used, they are sustainably sourced. Renewable, solar-powered energy will be the primary charger, ensuring that almost all regions will be able to use the device and are using a cleaner, greener form of energy, which allows battery utilization for about 2 weeks, compared to the normal 2 to 5 days. Last, it creates a positive cycle of access to higher education and career opportunities, will harbor a system that could allow generations of people to learn literacy and numeracy. Our philosophy is to maximize impact by partnering with already made products. That way, we can focus on the true mission, education for all. It would be economically funded through fundraising to purchase the educational tablet. Also be sourced to global donations, as a high level of technological advancement is not required. Buying the tablets in bulk or wholesale can amount to only $2 per tablet. Although solar charging systems are more costly, they have already been tried and tested by companies such as Elcom Systems. Charge of the 70Ah battery in their regional and district centers cost roughly 0.8 euros. These prices can be adjusted to fit the local currency. We would aim to partner with the UNDP. 4 SBCSs have been 100% funded through the GEF Small Grants Program. With partnerships with organizations such as OLPC, GEF Small Grants Program, Elcom Systems, and tablet developers, FEM for Ed would be able to effectively fund the product for use around the world.
Of course, every new idea comes with potential risks and challenges. Particularly in working with technology, there is always the chance of losing or damaging the electronic device. Furthermore, these educational tablets could be used for non-educational purposes. For example, in a case study experiment in isolated Ethiopian villages, the children who received educational laptops found ways to hack and enable settings which were originally blocked. However, this method students took to customize their device can also be seen as, in a way, creative. Although this implementation of education is not the most conventional method of learning, these students will now have access to resources and the opportunity to learn, which they did not have before. The cheaper result, tablets may not be resistant to harsh environmental conditions such as high heat or humidity. This may mean that the tablets will work worse in these conditions and may need to be used indoors. Our program's mission is to overcome traditional barriers such as language, money, time, geography, and more, in order to provide the world with an education. We hope that by 2030, everyone around the world will have access to this application or tablet, no matter their age, gender, or location around the world. Each area will be prioritized, as it will not be introduced all at once, but rather incrementally, to ensure that the same amount of care and effort is given to each community. Our volunteers will connect the communities and thus make one big family, eager to learn and develop.